Good evening. Today we are going to go through the review number 4. We are going to talk about penalty kicks. I am joined by the same 3 other presenters, Jake, Braxton, Hito, and myself. Penalty kicks. All right. In this first penalty kick, we'll be going to the left of the screen. Referee's in good position. He calls the penalty kick. He sells it. Nice and stern signal. 0 complaints because he was there. Well done. I think by their dress, it was early in the season, but that was well done. Nice and cold weather. All right, so let's continue watching. One thing I would like to stop here. This right here, this referee cannot see the AR. We're going to correct that positioning later, but we don't really like this position. I'm going to go ahead and let this play. And Braxton, can you take it from here a little bit?
Yeah, we see an AR in good position. Remember, this is a PK in the run of play, not a shootout in the postseason. So his position should be just outside the 18. So he's in a good spot here. But what we see is the AR flagging an infraction now on the goalkeeper coming off the line. Uh, if you didn't catch that, it's because you probably shouldn't have caught that, as the goalkeeper didn't really make any egregious movements off the line. So as we watch this again, make sure we pay attention to the keeper, focused on that movement. Remember, only one foot has to be on or over the line at the moment the ball's kicked.
Okay, so just to recap what you said, we like that he is in on the where the gold line meets the area, so his position is correct. The AR's
Yep.
position is correct. And then we talked about the goalie movement. Let me go ahead and show that again. Okay, now let's focus on this. Braxton, you said something about him raising his hand here?
Yeah, so the AR's job is to signal that we have an infraction on the goalkeeper if it occurs. However, this is something that we need to cover in our pregame, because there's more than just one person that can make this call. Uh, what we want to see from our ARs here is starting with the flag in that left hand upfield, like he has. And then if we see an infraction, switching that flag over to our right hand just as a subtle signal that only the referee will know that an infraction has occurred. Then they can come over and have that conversation uh, when they need to. Right now, it's important to make sure that nothing else happens, but then we can have that conversation afterwards.
I'm going to go ahead and show a screenshot of this, but right now it's paused. The ball's already in the air. This foot looks really, really, really close to this line, if not on it. Let me play this through. They call it back, and there's a retake. Um, Here is a screenshot. Hito,
Yes. Yes.
can you walk us through again exactly what we're looking at here?
Of course, yes. This so as we can see, the ball is in air. Keeper definitely has one foot, right foot on the line. Even the second one is possibly over the line or on the top. And the assistant referee is there in a good position, but he calls the wrongful encroachment on the goalkeeper part, and then we have the situation where we have a retake. If you are allowing for continuation of the video, I would like to talk a little bit more and summarize where we would like to have and seeing center referee to position himself, for the restarts of the penalty kicks. So as we are getting ready, so let's make sure the ball is set. And so please use your
Sorry.
yes, use your little red arrow and position. Just okay, just put it right there. position yourself on the line between 1 and 0. So that would be the line for the penalty area box right there. And if we put ourselves or position ourselves right there, so we have a good view of the goalkeeper, we have a good view of all the players in front of us, that are possibly maybe encroaching the penalty area before the restart is taken. As well, we would have a perfect view of our assistant referee in case he's switching, rotating arms, with the flag, so we don't have to go turn around. We don't have to have a short discussion, to review what just AR called, because referee positioned himself, side to side, and didn't have a chance to see clear a view of what AR was taking place. So to summarize, referees, penalty kicks, please, you have two jobs: making sure watching the encroachment of the players, and then watching your assistant referee what's taking place. Assistant referees, you have a job and only one job, and that is making sure the goalkeeper don't encroach from their position. And the new rule is they have to have 1 foot at least on the ground, on the line, or above the goal line.
Great. So this is a call for both of them, and then the referee gets for encroachment. It's not only the AR's call, right? The referee can make his opinion on this. Is that right?
They can, but it's very difficult, because right now these days we have more and more seeing players encroaching, so we have to have applied then different restarts. If the goal is scored and the players, teammates encroach and that kind of stuff. So that we open up kind of a little more discussion. Then referees have to know the table of the proper restarts if that's taking place. So I'm suggesting, my take is, and you guys on the panel, you can challenge me, but my take is, you worried about the player who's taking the shot, and then the encroachment of the players right there positioning on the edge of the penalty box. As well, you watching your AR, and then AR has just one job, and that is making sure that the goalkeeper doesn't encroach.
I'm just going to add here, we've put this out in writing, but the pregame matters, because as Hito said, he goes, this is my opinion. I don't know about the panel. The pregame matters. This is something that needs to be discussed in pregame, in my opinion.
No question about it. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
All right. Moving on. Jake, did I have you on this one? I'm not sure. Jake, you're muted, by the way.
Yep, that's me.
Okay. We'll have a decision down here on the left side of the screen. Okay, so the referee decides to call a penalty kick. Jake, let's talk about a few things on this clip.
Exactly. So what we're seeing here is, obviously we see an assistant referee in good position. We see a referee in a suboptimal position to call a penalty kick at this distance out. They're shielded by at least 4 or 5 players. But what we're seeing is an ability for the referee to see what's coming in the actual event. So the play that comes through, we're seeing a cross ball. The players are challenging. The assistant referee here is looking to give that information, albeit they've got about 2 players in front of them. You see the referee making a decision of penalty kick. They're calling the trip there, and the referee's blowing the whistle. We've got an assistant referee who's in a closer proximity, giving the flag as an assist. In my opinion, the referee's already calling this decision. We've made the call. I'm okay with the support flag here, in my opinion, because the proximity of the assistant referee is a little bit closer.
So you said support flag, and I agree. Would the AR be calling this as a primary call? It's hard to tell on video, so maybe I'm putting you on a spot that you can't answer.
And for me, what I see in video, obviously, is the delay. We don't know what the pregame conversation was between the two of them. To me, it looks like a support flag. The referee's blowing the whistle. The assistant referee's acknowledging, yes, I also see this foul, albeit whether they can see it or not is a question mark. But they are giving that assistance flag, which helps sell, given the referee's proximity is a little further away. both team members are using their teamwork to sell this call.
I like to add a little twist to this situation, because I think possibly the AR is assisting because he might recognize where the center referee is, so he has the need to sell this call. Because if the referee is closer, AR just can simply just go around the corner flag and get in position for restart. That's a nice, quiet, sudden support call, versus maybe AR is feeling the need to raise the flag and support the call.
Absolutely. And I think you're right, Hito. I think in the inverse of the first statement, I think the alternate solution to this is the assistant referee is really the one making the confident call here and helping the referee who looks out of position. Again, you're talking about the entertainment environment of this high school game. You've got your coaches who are looking to see where the position of the referees are. Who's more credible to make this call in this instance? The assistant referee actually has the best proximity to make this, albeit it's getting into, if we're looking at kind of zones of where the assistant referee is, we've kind of got the green, yellow, red. I know we've heard this. This is starting to stretch way far outside the assistant referee's zone of control. But when the referee is also 45 yards away, the assistant referee is actually the closest one to this proximity wise. So I like to think that we're leaning towards situation A, that the referee is making the call and the assistant referee is assisting to make that credibility. But it could very well be the alternative, that the assistant referee is making the credible decision.
Okay, I'm going to thank you guys, Hito and Jake. So what I'm going to sum up is the call was correct. We had a good support flag. I would like to bring up from a different review session, I would like this referee to run in, even if you're caught out of position, to run in and sell it, rather than just blow and point. I would rather him be running as he's blowing the whistle to help sell that. Other than that, I think you guys, Hito and Jake, I think you did a good job of breaking that down. All right, we will have a challenge on the left side of the screen on this. Okay, as I watch it play out, the referee's decision was a caution. Okay, so I will say I was able to zoom in on a different, it got too grainy for me to show in this video, but there was contact, so I 100% agree with the penalty kick. What I would like to discuss is, do we have DOGSO PK downgraded to a SPA, or not to a SPA, excuse me, DOGSO PK downgraded to a caution? Or do we just have a PK? I don't care. Braxton, you want to hop in here at all?
Yeah, I can jump in. I think this is one of those ones that, as the referee, you're not going to make a wrong decision as long as you call the penalty. The attacker's touch goes to the left of the goal rather than directly towards the goal. And it is a pretty heavy touch. So this is where that shred of doubt that we've talked about in review session 1 can come into play. If you have a shred of doubt, then we're not at DOGSO. So you're just fine to go normal PK here, as we call this potential promising attack. And there was an attempt for the ball, so we downgrade to no card. And then if you, without a shred of doubt, say, yeah, she was definitely going to get that ball. She was, if she wasn't touched, she'd be getting that ball, no problem. Okay, you're at DOGSO and you downgrade to your yellow card. And I think either one is really supported here because we're just in this 50-50 zone. But I do really like how the referee is just sprinting in here and making this decision really well.
A question for you, Braxton, with the attempt to play the ball piece here. Do you ever think that there's a moment in this instance when we're looking at this clip in a vacuum that there was not an attempt to play the ball here?
Not necessarily. I think the keeper comes out with their hands and comes low towards the ground. rather than reaching up towards the hips to stop the player or towards the knee. So for me, I think this is one of those 50-50s that the goalkeeper is coming out and just doesn't quite get there in time. Instead of, oh, this attacker's passed me, now I've got to grab onto them and make it look like I've touched the ball.
Correct. Yeah, we're not committing a holding offense or a pushing offense. We're creating an attempt on the ball. This isn't going to be a direct red card for denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity.
No question.
For sure.
Mike, and I'd like to add for my side, summary on my side. I always like to go back and smart and proactive and common sense officiating. So if the goalkeeper has a yellow on this before this particular situation, my suggestion is, wearing the referee as well, the coach's hat, just a simple allowing and calling the penalty kick without any plastic following with it, and we are keeping 11 racers 11.
I'm just going to chime in on her little somersault here. This is not, since there was contact, you can't call this as a dive. Okay. Embellishment, I get that question a lot. Her momentum's going there. Okay, I have background to this particular player. She's had 2 ACL surgeries. She's a Division I swimmer that is going to go on full scholarship to the University of Iowa. And she did her somersault to avoid injury. No, as a referee, none of that. Okay, but don't read into the somersault as anything like exaggeratory. I don't want us to think that was her trying to sell the call. Just call the call. Referee did a great job.
Mike, that's a great point. I think some of us get lost in the movements of people when they're hit, but we also have to think about this attacker's likely trying to jump over the goalkeeper a little bit here. And when anybody leaves their feet, their balance is completely gone. So if an attacker gets contacted while in the air and their body starts flailing around, it's not because they're trying to sell a call. It's because they've lost their balance. They're in air with nothing to actually hold them down. So let's also think about that as we're going in challenges or people are jumping over challenges and then they just lose their balance. It's not necessarily that they're trying to sell you on a call. It's just they're in the air. They can't control themselves.
So a lot in that clip, we all had kind of things, different points to talk about. The referees did a great job. And thanks, panel. That was good. All right. I noted this because I feel like we've talked a lot of dog-so downgrades and cards. Just before I play it, I would say most penalty kicks are not cards. I say most. You can figure out the math on that. I'm a math teacher. I won't bore you too much. But not all penalty kicks are cards, for example. Okay. Hito. Anything else on this one?
No, it's pretty straightforward. The referee is, trailing, but close to the situation, and he's diagonal. He has things in front of him. Recognizing the free kick right away, foul, calls the PK, no card, follow up on the situation. To me, clean, no issues, just PK as itself, as it stands, is good enough for this particular situation, in my opinion.
As a mentor, I feel like sometimes when the player doesn't fall, we don't always call this. Does someone else want to kind of chime in on not falling down but earning a penalty kick?
I think it goes right back to what we were talking about in the last clip. Like, she goes down, but it's not embellishment. If a player stays up and we don't call fouls because they're standing up, well, of course they're going to throw themselves to the ground. That's the only way that we're going to start calling the foul. He takes a clear trip to the upper leg here and decides to try to play through. It's a clear foul, but he wants to go for the ball, but the foul stops him. So just because he tries to go through and keep playing doesn't mean we shouldn't award him with that foul.
Great, guys. As
this
Hito
is a
said,
really this is a really good spot where the referee doesn't blow their whistle right away. They wait about 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, just in the odd chance that the worst feeling as a referee is this ball leaves the white uniformed player's foot and is in mid-flight into the net and we're blowing the whistle. Nothing is worse as a referee when that's the case and now you're calling a penalty kick. This referee waits just a smidgen, that 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, before making the confident penalty kick call that shot's not going in the back of the net. And this is really good refereeing that he identified that this is a foul, and then that the next action maybe is a shot on goal. We've got a clear another action that the defending team is taking, and he's going with the penalty kick. This is a really good, not a wait and see, but a good delay of the whistle. Because again, we're not waiting and seeing on a penalty kick. We are just delaying our whistle for a second.
All right. We started with Hito. He said that's a very simple call. Just call it, not a card. We talked about staying on your feet. Doesn't mean it's not a foul. And we talked about delayed whistle. So something as simple as this play still has a lot for the referee to process. Very well done. Okay. Let's move on. All right. This play is moving to our left again. Onside. I'll take that part. And I'll conclude with a penalty kick was called. Jake, I'm gonna I'll let you take the lead on this, and then we'll let the panel chime in.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and watch it one more time. Pay particular attention to the referee's movement. So you want to pause it right here as we get to that foul point. Referees, when we're and players and coaches, and when we're expecting, if you're a player or a coach and you're looking at this play, you anticipate a referee to be in the frame. There is not a referee in this picture, and we're looking at a total of 60 yards worth of space here on our screen, and we don't see a referee in sight. As a player or a coach, we expect a referee to at least be in the frame. From a referee's perspective, now we're taking this a step further. When we notice a one-on-one advance of this team's clearly playing the ball over the top. They are one-on-one with a defender and an attacker. We have to take our clue. If we have in our ability to get that second, third, fourth gear, we have to use it. This is the moment that we have to turn that on. We need to be catching up because these kids, these 14, 16-year-olds are so quick. The faster we can recognize that this player is going one-on-one, we have to start sprinting. Mostly for the credibility of this. We're making a game-changing decision in the penalty area for one team against the other, and we don't have a clear look where the referee is, probably on the 50-yard line here, looking through the back of the defender. It's really tough to sell this decision as a penalty kick or not a penalty kick. Again, as Mike alluded to, this was called a penalty kick. It's very, very, very tough to see what actual contact happens. And I'm going to turn it over to Hito from a coach's perspective. I want to hear from a coach when you see this, whether you're the team that's getting the penalty kick or whether you're the team that's getting this penalty kick called against you. What do you expect from a referee in this instance?
Okay, very good job, Jake. And then the name of the clip is selling the call. So looking from the coach's perspective right here, and I did that for many years from the sideline, observing and watching and judging these kind of type of calls. We must do better job of selling these calls. So in preparation for this review, to me, it's irrelevant, let's not get caught up, did we call the right call as far as penalty or not? but the work rate and reaction, proactive reading, adjustments, these things matter as a referee, as well as the coach seeing happening in front of us. So if I see you moving and giving the effort, and whatever that may be, because let's face it, some of us younger, some of us older, some of us faster, some of us slower. God given ability. Let's put that work rate. I would need to see it as a coach from the sideline that we are trying to get there. We're giving our very best effort, and then that's okay. I might be frustrated, because you're not closer to sell it, but I can see it, and I'm honest, in review that you are giving your best effort. You are trying, and that's to me mattered as a coach versus reacting and just kind of even slowing down versus just speeding up and trying to be there and have the right call. So let's referees across Iowa, please. I'm not trying to put them pedestal our players, but we are there for the players. They work really hard, practicing, getting in shape, getting if in position to win games, and so we as referees try to have a decent effort and work rate to apply whatever it's happening during that 80 minutes. So please, referees, give a better effort. And so as a coaches, we'll recognize and we will give you the path over your shoulder at the end of the game. We might be mad, at split moment in second right there, but at the end of the game, if we are honest to each other, it's okay. Just I need to see that happening right here in front of me.
And Mike,
Hey,
I'm gonna ask you one question here. I'm gonna ask you the question. When a referee is looking to make a decision, what's most important? Is it the proximity or is it the angle?
It's the angle.
It's
Okay,
always
it's
the angle,
absolutely
right?
the angle because yeah, it is definitely the angle. And in the other clips we had, the referee may have been farther behind. They got the call right or wrong. It's pretty much indifferent in this discussion, but it's definitely the angle. One more thing I would like to point out that guys, when we previewed these videos before we recorded, I did not notice. Right here is actually where the mistake is. It's not that the referee might be slower than the players. It's not that they're going to outrun them and they're going to be 20 yards, 30 yards ahead. It's actually right here at the turnover point. The referee is walking instead of trying to anticipate that the ball is going to be going to the left. So I missed that the first few times because I was only worried about the end of the thing. But this is the effort Hito was talking about. Right there is where the coaches are expecting us to at least attempt to close this, expecting the ball here.
Don't get caught
Okay.
flat-footed. That's exactly what's happening here. Don't get caught flat-footed. Stay on your toes, ready for that quick counter.
Okay. So it is what it is. We just have to be ready for that, and then everything sells better. Okay. One more tonight. I think Braxton, I'm going to go ahead and let you take the lead. This play will happen down by my cursor on the right-hand side of the penalty area because we're talking about penalty kicks.
Let's do it. Now, so if you were looking at for the referee in the middle of the field, you're not going to find them because this is a two-man crew. So they came in from the bottom right of the screen there, in a good position and working hard to see this. They're seeing right between players. And if we just go through the considerations for our fouls here, we have point of contact, the upper back, mode of contact, the hands. Force is enough to push somebody over, and we've got clear foul here. Now we start to think about dogso. Distance to the goal is very close. Distance to the ball is very close. And there's no defenders between. So we have dogso. Now we have to ask ourselves, point of contact to the back, mode of contact to the hands. Is this an attempt for the ball? In my opinion and in the referee's opinion, no, this is not a play for the ball. This is just a clear, I'm going to push you down so you don't score during the run of play. So this should be a dogso red card with a PK because we're inside the area.
Okay, so this happened to be during a junior varsity game. That doesn't matter, guys. Braxton did an incredibly good job of breaking this down. As we've talked in other review sessions, we always talked about downgrading. The difference is we had not seen one of these. The push in the back, like Braxton described. He went through all the considerations. I absolutely, for a two-man system, this is great job position-wise. Braxton said it well. We believe that this is a dog so PK, but it's a red card because there was no play on the ball. Anything else from the panel?
Well done, crew.
Yeah, good job. Well done. Very good on a two-man, especially to get that angle. That was very good.
For sure.
That's how
yeah.
we do it in Central
That was
Ohio.
that was work rate. You can see the work rate difference in that clip versus the previous clip of this referee is already anticipating this sprint. So there's a compare and contrast for you to see.
Very
And a
good.
really good Sal getting in there and getting the card too. It's a really good job overall.
All right, guys. That concludes this review session. There is my contact and Hito's contact information. Thank you guys very much.